Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Not just another live stream, not just any old other live stream, the 11th year of live streaming. It's Streamaversary Day, which is a pretty cool thing that Twitch let me know about, and now it's on my calendar, and now every year we celebrate it. Last year, obviously, 10 years, duh. I can do numbers, X. Jeez, shut up. Yeah, I think that was actually the first time we celebrated it. Or maybe the one before, I don't know. Have y'all got a better memory than me? Probably. Blooming, we got Bananas, Decana Heaven, Heart Gamer, Expelled Winter, Cloudy, Zero. Thank you for Bananas, appreciate it, peeps. Does anyone remember then? We definitely did it last year. Did we do it the year before that? Also, shout-outs to HB Plays is here and Nazo Pharynx for subscribing in between streams. Just going to go ahead and safely assume that that is related to the snapshot video / pre-release video that we put out today that had some interesting discussions, some news, some insider info from Minecraft management about why they no longer do big updates, which was really cool. My channel is only enough to be a 5th grader. Oh, right, we're relating the age of it to school years. Got ya. And apparently it's St. Patrick's Day. Cool. You know what? I never, ever know when St. Patrick's Day is. Someone just tells me. And I'm always like, oh, okay. I never know about it before I stream and someone tells me. Look at this. I was kind of curious as to how much, not a crazy amount, how much extra gunpowder we had lying around. Let's go check up on our rockets in the Nether. I'm not going to work on this project today. I'm going to force myself to be creative on today's stream. Right, and they'll now get shot through into the Nether. Let's head over there and check up on that project. Big Papa House is in the house for 48 months. 4 years of subbage. Much appreciated, my dude. Thank you for supporting me. I hope you'll be entertained today. We also got Becca coming in with the gifted sub to Soundwave Hope. Thanks for gifting that sub, Becca. Puzzle Frack is here for 77. Long-time lurker and enjoyer. Keep being you. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, at least I'm wearing green. I'm wearing green. Yeah. You know, I'm celebrating the occasion, apparently. I didn't know I was, but now I am, so okay. 11 years and still twitchy, I know. Yeah, so we pop over here. This is the first place to check. That is the fireworks we just started crafting coming through. That right there, my friends, is something that I am worried about happening. Is it on a chunk border? Oh, that's not right. It's actually not on a chunk border, so I don't know why that stopped. You'll probably find I just become that guy who comes here and checks because it's my project. That's not okay. Kind of hoping those ones would be filled up by now. What about over here? And there's another little bit of math to do here, which is that maybe the hermits are like using this enough that, you know, because if I don't know how many hermits are going to spot this and start using it, right? If you think about it, if all 26, 27 of us started using this, it might be that it doesn't keep up very well. As you saw, though, we do have a big stockpile of gunpowder, but I only picked up about 4 stacks. I don't know quite how that relates to how much sugarcane we need, but we do have plans to upgrade the sugarcane farm. We might, I say might, get lucky and do really well with our other projects and head over there and work on upgrading it, but I want to focus on the other project first, so that's on the cards, but unlikely, let's say. You got recommended an old video from 8 years ago, one of my guitar videos. You got distracted, but the beard here's the whole 3 minutes. The beard. I thought you were going to comment on how I had a beard, because I think in one of those videos you can see my beard. Yo, Nuke Marcus, thank you ever so much for gifting a sub to DJ Skywalker. We also... It's Nuke again. Marcus, thanks for gifting a sub to Just Child's Ray. Appreciate it. Red Reaper's here, saying happy to be here for your Streamaversary. Thank you, my dude. It's gonna be a chill one. X has a beard, says J-Mac. Didn't I say used to have a beard? I felt like I said when I used to have a beard. So, one of the things I would like to do at some point is set up a shortcut to this bit here. I think it might make more sense to line it up with that bit there. Like, I like the way this tunnel is, but it also, I think it kind of lines up with this. So for now, should we add like a janky little shortcut? I don't want to accidentally break that door. Did I break the door? Wait, I didn't break the door. I think a zombie might have done. Oh no, wait, no, maybe I did. No? I think a zombie must have broken it. So this strikes me as probably being a little too steep of a staircase. Maybe we make it too wide. And it starts right there. And that means stairs on each of these, which means stairs there and here, and then it's a little too close. So we'll probably do an up-down thing with soul, sand, and all of that at another point in time. We got noises in the ear. We got noises in the ear. Gonna just put that back there for now. Viking Mama 901, thank you for 2 months. Decana Heaven, thank you for 17. We got Equinox Links coming in with a subscription. Thank you so much. Siberian Wolf is here gifting some subs as well. Unguided Hand. Inspiration. I see how you spelt that. JR Pyre. Tech to Candy. Serial 73. I've been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks. And Badger Spanners here for 83 months. Thank you so much, Badger. Appreciate you. It's kind of like Peter Parker in that one Deadpool comic. Even if he wanted a face reveal, the universe wouldn't allow it. I do not read comics, so I don't know what we're referring to. This is the place. This is the place. And immediately, I like it when I pop into a build and I know what I want to do straight away. Like, that's a promising sign. I want to have a staircase that you can sort of see the edge of. And I want it to be here going up. And I want it to be like that on every floor. Like, I feel like immediately I just walk in and know what I'm doing. And it's going to be too deep. That bit's going to be the wall, so we need to go 1 block further back. And this will be our build project for today. Let's check behind the wall, though. Let's just make sure we're not uncomfortably close. We've got plenty of space to work with. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Airwave 20, thank you for the cheers and the biddies. 11 years of Xisuma streaming. Glad to be here for it. Thank you. Glad to have you. It feels to me like a little bit of a birthday. Like, my birthday is private. I also don't actually celebrate my birthday, really. These days, maybe we'll go out for a meal, but for a long time, I didn't do nothing, nada, for my birthday. Didn't want to celebrate getting old. That don't make no sense. Not that I actually care, but I just have a tradition of not really making a big deal out of it or doing anything. So, Streamaversary or like the YouTube channel birthday, always nice to have a little celebration. By the way, we're 8 minutes into this stream and I got a hot cup of tea and I would like to hold on to it and have a sip. So, chat, if you want to have your moment to interact, I'll have a moment to read your interactions. 11 years, crazy. Congrats, X. Did you ever think about streaming music? I'm streaming music right now. We're listening to Matt Ullman, the StarCraft soundtrack. I needed a little bit of a nostalgia treat today, so I just put on the StarCraft soundtrack. Use your birthday as an excuse to buy other people presents, says Viking Mama. That's nice. That's nice. I feel like that could be me, but I don't do that. Oh my goodness me, that's really hot. Yay, I'm getting old. What every birthday feels like, says Toast Skin. When you're a kid though, it's like birthdays and Christmas and stuff, they're hype. You can't wait. You know, it's exciting. And then I don't know what age it is, but maybe it's in your 20s you start to realize like, oh, this getting older thing, you know, might not be so great. I would always watch your snapshot update videos when I was a kid. Oh, thank you for watching them. I still make them. A lot of peeps are probably coming in here from the video that went out today. Yeah, all of this right here's got to go. And now it's going to go with gravel falling down as well. Great. More work for me to do. I don't mind, I don't mind. Kevlar13, thank you for 48 months. Hi X in chat, congrats on the anniversary. Thank you, my dude. Feels good to have been around for this long. Frosty Nymph. There's a name I've seen before. Coming in with gifted subs to Light Coffee, Scamtez, Zaina Quirishi. Oh god, these names today, I tell you people. You bugging me, and Delaney53. Be sure to say thanks in the chat, and thank you again for the gifted subs. Would I have believed I'd reached 11 years of streaming 11 years ago? Not a chance, Callie, not a chance. So it's looking to me like this is like a tiny bit just out of reach, but that's probably not going to be a bother. I'm probably going to use that to our advantage. Sorry, a little bit of a mouth burp there. Don't know if you heard it. I apologize. I've just finished eating. Oh, goodness me, did I have a meal that hit the spot today? You know, sometimes your meal... Oh, I'll tell you what. Cool. I've had a couple of meals that have hit the spot. I have a theory that sometimes it's more like... It's more just like if you're receptive, like your body's really hungry or something. I don't know. But I had a meal that hit the spot the other day after I streamed on Sunday. Yeah, look at this. This is all a bit too tight. Let's go. Oh wait, we can actually go up one more. And then I had a meal that really hit today. So on the weekend we streamed. After I streamed, I went for a run, and I was gonna have one meal and order a takeaway later, but I really, since I looked on my app and seen that there was Tex-Mex available, I really fancied having like loaded fries and a burrito, and I ordered it, and boy oh boy, I'm telling you, man, did it hit the spot? Oh, I had so many, there were so many carbs. There was just loads of dirty fries, right? Like loads of chips with no, I'm confusing my terms. Loaded fries is correct, but yeah, anyway, you know, loads of like meat and sour cream and other bits on top of the chips. And I tell you what, right, chips, they can be a little hit and miss. All right, homemade chips are pretty reliable. Like I had homemade chips today. Just chop up the potatoes, do it right, you know your seasoning, you know how long to put it in the oven, it's pretty consistent. But when you go and get chips from other places, the thing about chips is, I think it largely depends on what oil the chips are cooked in. This looks like it might be a little bit too close to comfort for what's down below, but we're just measuring for now. I think it largely depends on what oil it's cooked in, because my local calf, I order from there, and sometimes the chips really hit the spot, and other times they're a bit naff. Never in between. It always seems to be like it's hit the spot, or you get the hit or the miss. And I don't know what it is they do, but I got a theory it's got something to do with the oil that it gets cooked in. And at home, I don't really use oil to cook the chips. I could season them with some oil, right? But I think with chips, a lot of the flavor comes from the oil that it's cooked in. And I tell you, these chips that I had the other day, just absolute perfection. Like, is it that I'm just really hungry and this hits the spot? Or like, is it just exceptionally well cooked? I'm not sure. It always intrigues me how much is like one or the other, or the two interacting. But yeah, I had that and an extra large burrito, and the burrito was full of rice, and oh my god, did the carbs like just coma me for the rest of the day. I was useless for the rest of the day after. Your favorite burger place in Nashville does animal style fries, and it's onions, tartare sauce, and cheese on top of... On paper, it looks terrible. Oh, I see what you mean, but it's good. Nah, that sounds great. I'm kind of like a try anything guy. Like if someone says, hey, this sounds gross, but trust me, it's good, I'll be like, oh, let's give it a go, you know? We got Powerballs coming in with some gifted subs. Thank you so much again, my dude. Always appreciate your support. Peeps, there's a lot of them. Come check in the chat, see if you got gifted ones, say thanks. Much appreciated, my dude. We got Coast Hot Dog Hound. Costco Hot Dog Hound. Oh my god. Costco Hot Dogs. Thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, this staircase works here, but then I think this one maybe you get a little too close to that. Why don't we push this one here back an extra block? I think that's the way we'll do that bit. Might even sort of occupy this space and have this one a bit more floating out or something. Also, I kind of like the idea of having a bit of a barrier somewhere here. Maybe I should get this one a little more defined first. Yeah, because I think this one's actually going to come over to this space. Like that. Do they have Costco in the UK? We do. I've never had a Costco hot dog. I don't really like hot dogs. Hot dogs and burgers are not my kind of cuisine. I'm just not really a fan of the bread. Molly Palp, thank you so much for 5 months. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Happy 11 years. Thank you so much. You have to leave now. Friends want to socialize or something. Hey, that's important. That's important. What materials are we going to use here? Like, I feel like... Do we need the contrast material or do we need to continue with the same one? I think mangrove. I can see mangrove wood being a common thing here. Cool, I'll tell you what, I like that staircase. That gets us just direct to where we want to go. Sometimes I have like chests or shulker boxes that are like leftovers from a project. And they can be pretty handy to pick up because they're like a collection of building materials that match. But not today. Not today. Have I had jam jelly on grilled cheese? I think I have, and it's amazing. Oh my goodness me, that's some good tea. That's really hitting the spot. The things are just hitting the spot today, apparently. So today's meal... What did I have today? Let's grab some bamboo. Probably going to need some of that. Oh yeah, I wanted to make a sign out the front for this shop. Might get around to that. Not entirely sure what else to use inside of there. I guess maybe we should probably start using the ender chest system so we can like match some materials before we go pull out a bunch of stuff. Today what I had, right, check this out. I'll walk you through cooking the whole thing, right? Potatoes, right? A bunch of nice white potatoes, chopped them up, salt and peppered, chopped them up pretty slim so they can sort of cook at a lower temperature in the oven. I've been experimenting with that and noticing that works a little better. You get them nice and crispy and well cooked through. You, sir, should not be spawning in this area, especially at this time of day. I now have to investigate. Wow. I thought... Wait, wasn't there like a torch? I remember putting a torch in the middle of each room. I remember doing that. The torches are gone. Huh. And I hear Zombert groans, which is concerning. The whole area should be safe. But maybe it's not. Did I eat the torches? No, I don't recall eating no torches. Yeah. I think I want to avoid the red in here. Right, so I'm going to walk you through the whole process, right? In a moment, because Santa Escarva's here gifting some subs. Santa, thank you so much for your generosity. Peeps in chat, do the check. Come back and look. See if you got gifted a sub. Say thanks. I appreciate it ever so much. All I ask is you say thank you as well. Penelope Sky here for 43 months. Not quite 11 years, but close. Depends on how you look at close, I guess. I think only May School has been subbed for the whole 11 years. Which makes him official OG, you know? Yeah, that's the way around we want it. Right, so can I walk you through the whole process without a distraction? Oh, then I feel like the top one might want one there. Maybe not. Can I want, like, wall blocks on top of that? So, getting those potatoes prepped, put them in the oven, salt and pepper, you know, on a tray. ready to go. You're writing this down because this was an amazing meal. I'm going to cook it again in a couple of days and tweak it. I'm going to make it a little bit more like poutine with some gravy and stuff. All right, good. You're following. You're following along. You're writing it down. All right, that's the first bit. I had some veggies on the side, you know, some peas, some carrots, some spinach, but like you can do your veggies your own way. That was just on the side. I had it with sauerkraut, but like the main thing that made this meal amazing was the chips and what I mixed and put on top of it, right? So here we go. Some smoked bass fillets. These are the yellow ones, right? It's essential that you get them smoked. They have this flavor to them. You don't need to like season it with salt and pepper or anything like that. But I had some chopped up garlic, so a couple of garlic cloves. Chopped all of that up. And then just sprinkled that on top of the bassa, so they could be a bit garlicky. Was cooking that on a reasonably high heat. So it cooked quite quickly. You know, once the fillets are cooked through, I break them up a little bit. Chucked in a bunch of chopped up spring onions. 2 spring onions, to be precise. Once they're just mixed in for like a minute and a half. Pushed all of it to the outside, turned the heat down, cracked a couple of eggs in the middle, right? Then you start to mix it up a little bit, bring the heat up, mix it all together, make sure those eggs are cooked through properly, right? When they are, about 45-50 grams of cheese grated on the top. Don't mix it in straight away, let the cheese start to melt a little bit. In fact, I didn't mix it up at all. But yeah. Once that cheese has started to melt through, I took the chips out of the oven, dumped all of that on top. There was already like my veg and stuff in the bowl. But I'm telling you, whoo! it went down a treat. It was gorgeous, man. Those chips mixing with all of that that cheese and egg and bassa. Oh, so I'm gonna cook the same thing again in a couple of days with a couple of extra eggs, because I love my eggs. Although I've got a feeling that 2 might just be the right amount. But here's what I'm going to do different. For veg, I'm just going to have something like peas. And then I'm going to make some gravy on the side. So I'm going to put in... I think I'm going to put the cheese and bassa and egg on the bottom. Chips on top. And then put the gravy over the top. Like, and try and do it like poutine style, but homemade. What is bassa? Bassa is a type of fish. It's a really lean, healthy choice of food. And interestingly, it's quite cheap. It's like one of the cheap fish. For whatever reason, it's not particularly popular. I happen to find it to be one of the best tasting fish, so it works for me. Oh, maybe like sandstone works as a wall block over here. Although it's quite high contrast. Now that's what's like a dark wall. Nether brick might work in here. I think nether brick might be the one. So I'm scanning over all these options and I didn't even notice that one. And then maybe the fence goes like up from there or something. Or is that too much contrast? Like I feel like there's just loads of different colors in this room. Maybe brick. Actually, yeah, mud brick, because it's already part of the build palette. I think it will just settle in pretty well. I think this might be the one. You just joined the stream and it's a cooking stream. We're talking about what I had. Yeah. Right, then I think just the floor naturally would be oak, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Or better yet, craft it. Kaylee Dole, thank you ever so much for the Prime subscription. We got Pazcuda here for 9 months as well. Twitch baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Peeps, I think I got a plan. My next stream is on Thursday. You're going to get an episode of Hermitcraft. In the evening, there'll be a stream. At some point after that, I do want to do a little bit of variety. There's 1 or 2 other games I think I would just like to play, do one-off streams on. But in the next stream, I want to do my research and we go down and take on the Deep Dark and try and get that record disc, right? I think that'll make a fantastic stream, and it's what I want to do in the next one. So, if that excites you, Hightail. Oh my god, Hightail. Yeah, I say this all the time. When I stop playing a game, it's like my brain just like it like disappears from my consciousness or something. And a couple of times recently, I've thought about it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm just out of the groove, and now my brain just like doesn't know what to do. So I think with Hightail, I'm waiting now for like a bit more of a meaningful update to come along. Or am I doing this right? I thought. Oh yeah, I wanted the sides to face upwards. A bit more of a meaningful update. Or maybe we start tinkering around with mods and doing something like that. Might be interesting. But yeah, I you know, there was still more to do in the game, but it had started to become a bit of a like adventuring for the sake of gearing up experience, and to keep me interested in a game, I got to get creative at some point, right? Like I can't keep grinding stuff for whatever reason. You know, I'm a creative human being, and I need to entertain that creativity on some level. What about RV there yet? Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing RV there yet again. That one's a bit more of a commitment. Yeah, commitment is the big issue. Like Hermitcraft is just such a big deal, you know, that I'm always on here. And it's not until I'm not that I have time to do other stuff. So if Hermitcraft is happening, you better know this is where I'm at. And that's a bit of a problem for me. Badger, you had a hawk looking at you from a tree, looking at your bagel, probably. I had a bagel when I was in New York, and whew, crikey, that was good. That was a good bagel. I don't really recall ever having bagels back here in the UK, but like, whew, what a bagel that was. Yeah, I'm loving that. That's just the exact vibe I was kind of looking for. So then I think you just want planks kind of going from here to there. Do we got more oak wood? Will there be a Hermitcraft for Hightail? I mean, technically there already is, but like, we get these questions so often. It's just like, I think the answer is just wait and see. You know, Hightail is not in a state where you can commit to doing Hermitcraft-like content on it, right? When it gets to that state where we can do Hermitcraft-like content, you know, let's see what happens. But as of right now, I mean, you ain't gonna see much. I feel like that should probably be oak wood, but we'll leave it be for now. And then up here you got this like transition. I might change this floor. I'm not a big fan of this as the floor. It's a bold, strong color, and I think it needs toning down a little bit. This is nice, by the way. Like sometimes you have to embrace the simplicity of Minecraft's building to just enjoy it. Looks a bit quirky there. We can always come back to that later. Yeah, what's on the other side of those blocks? You can kind of see them a little bit, because part of me is thinking having this like wrap around the edge might make sense, but maybe not. Pretty sure we're going to fill that in. Then we're going to have another material that becomes the wall, and then wraps into this space. That wall's probably going to be bamboo blocks. Unless I strip out these ones and I decide that we put something a little different here, we could quite easily hide that up with a couple of blocks if it looks awkward. Ain't a bagel just bread in a donut shape? Pretty much, yeah. I mean, maybe it's like a type of bread or a way that you cook it or you serve it, you know. Joel1104, thank you for subscribing, appreciate it. I want to make some homemade bread, actually. I saw this recipe where it's made out of like seeds and flax seeds and chia seeds and sunflower seeds and some other seeds, and I was like, oh, that's very different from bread as I know it, and sounds like something I'd like and could smother some peanut butter on it. Bagels are boiled before baked. All right. That's undercooked salad. What? Right, that's my tea down. That's done. That's a done cup of tea. So you can see where we're at. We're kind of like hitting our head a bit too much. There's probably a fair bit of depth here we could take advantage of. So I think I'm gonna like reassess where this is right now. Let's push it back further. Make this store a little bigger or something. X is going on the bird diet. It's nothing but seeds from here on out. It's like a legit bread. It's just not made with like flour and all that stuff as you know it. Which, you know what I'm going to say, puts it on the healthy spectrum. That's why I was interested in it. Like, bread is an amazing delivery mechanism and like a great food for like portability, you know? It's just not the most nutritious or healthiest choice. And like, bread can be better. It's that like Tesco white loaf bread. You know, there's like a spectrum, and quite a lot of the time, if you pick up some sandwiches, it's closer to that, like, that end of the spectrum, if that makes sense. And that stuff's nasty. What do I enjoy most about training? Have I been a lifter for a while? Yeah, I've been lifting for well over, oh my god, like 15 years, I guess. What I enjoy is doing it. Turning up every day and just doing the workout. That's what I enjoy. Speaking of which, I have a injury at the moment. I guess last time when did this really like step up a little bit? So I've had like a little bit of a niggle with my sort of shoulder neck area on the right side, like come and go recently. It came about at the beginning of the year, and then I started training my neck more and it went away. But now that it's sort of come back again, and it was really nasty last week. I say nasty, like very tolerable and workable, but like a definite like something's up. And then it kind of went away after I rested it for a day or two. And that made a lot of sense, right? But now it's sort of come back. In fact, I remember it started because I just woke up with it, right? Like, it was like one day I woke up and it's like, oh, here's this pain, thanks. Trap pains are so annoying. Posture really badly affects it. It might be trap related. It's interesting you say posture affects it, because my initial diagnosis, self-diagnosis, was kind of like, it was weird because if I could go through the day being active and moving, but not particularly like using and putting weight on it, it would get much better. But as soon as I would stay static at the computer for a while, that's when all of a sudden I would step away from the computer and be like, ugh, and I'd feel it really strong again. But, you know, it hasn't consistently been like that. It's been a bit of a strange one. I feel like the height of this is messing with me a bit. I wonder, I could have maybe lowered this down by 1 block if you look at the way this lines up, like, and then if I do that, what's the, oh, I should have started with this. I should have started with that kind of thing. But I might be overthinking it. Like, oh, I'm such a weird overthinker for space and stuff. Maybe it makes sense to raise the floor up. Like, this feels like I'm 1 block too low. That's what I'm going to do. Right, we're going to stop with the overthink. I think the way forward is to raise up this floor by 1 block. I don't think you want to drop down into it. Right. Do you remember I was talking about having an injury? I need to mute my microphone for a minute and take a phone call. Alright, I'm back. I'm back! I gotta make some notes and stuff. It seems like while I was on the phone, loads of people resubbed and then False raided us. So welcome, raiders. Thank you, False, for the raid. I'll be slightly inactive for a moment as I send off a text. Very important that I do that. Let's have a look. There we go. It really isn't that easy to type out a message and talk at the same time. You rock at chess, says 8Pro, but I rook at chess. That was a terrible joke. I actually thought what you said was rook. Right. Okay, last bit to do. Make sure I spell everything correctly. Brilliant. Okay, that's all correct. And then I make a little note to make more notes after the stream, because I've got an appointment sorted out now. So yeah, we were talking about this injury, and then I got a call about it. It's gotten to that point now where I'm like, yeah, best to go see the physio. Like, I've rested, it's gone away, it's come back. Like, what am I to do about it, you know? Lord Zav says, I want to apologise to the mods for my poor behaviour last time I was around. I get why I got muted and I won't do it again. I'm sincerely sorry to have made a joke about us Canadians being too polite. Well, thank you for apologising. That also kind of sounded like maybe none of that was true and that was just a joke about being polite. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to believe, man. I don't know what to believe anymore. Let's hop out here. We'll put all the junk bits into here, because goodness me, if you play Minecraft for more than a few minutes, you'll get some junk in your inventory. No doubt about it. Also, let's fill in the floor as well. Xisuma, what would you say to a person looking to become more regular about lifting? Well, a lot of it depends on like your age and your ability and stuff, but consistency is great. Doing it regular is great, but doing the right amount for you, not overdoing it, is important. You know, steady pace and all of that. I think the big thing I'd want to say to people that are young when it comes to lifting, there is a real problem going on in the whole like fitness influencer scene. I don't even know if you want to call it that. Whoa, hello. Hey, you got my door. That guy's got my door. There is like among... How the heck did that guy get that? Hang around in the area without me noticing him. And then all of a sudden just drop down off of that scaffold. Weird. Weird. Maybe it was up there. Also, I ain't dealing with that. I ain't dealing with that up there. There is like a huge problem with steroid abuse in the health and fitness weightlifting community, and it is really disheartening. Like, there are a lot of young people just ruining their lives, and just taking crazy amounts of steroids really young. And I think it's going to be one of those things where, like, in 10 years from now, it'll be like a known about problem. Like, it'll be something you hear about, right? Because, like, the consequences will come around. Right now, it's like a lot of people might not even be aware that something like this is happening. But once people, all these kids start dying from it as they grow up, it's going to become a huge talking topic, I think. Looks maxers, yeah, that term. Funny you bring that up. I heard that on a podcast I was listening to today. Really cool podcast, actually, with Louis Theroux. Thought I'd give it a listen, kind of like follow up on that Manosphere thing that I watched. It was a really good listen, actually. And interesting, they started talking about UK hip-hop at the end of it, and I found a playlist on Spotify, which is tons of, like, UK hip-hop from, like, the late 80s, early 90s I'd never heard of, and I'm like, I'm gonna get stuck into this a little bit and have a little bit of a explore and a rummage. The Romish one, that was it. Yeah, it was the one with Romish. It's a good show. It was a good show. And yeah, they didn't really talk about this. But it's a huge problem. It's one of those, like, if you know you know kind of things. But like if you're outside of this world and you don't follow it. I mean, I don't even follow it closely. I'm just like on the fringe of seeing what's going on. I know it goes like pretty hard and deep because there's just so many kids these days on TikTok, like building their worldview up from like online influencers, and a lot of that stuff I think is pretty corrosive. Have you seen the hip hop hoax doc? It's funny you mentioned that. It popped up on my Netflix the other day. Maybe they just added it and it popped up on yours too. And I thought, I like hip hop, and I bloody love a good hoax. Me, oh, I love getting scammed. What's this about? Oh, I love a good old hoax. Hoax Hogan, that's my favorite wrestler, right? Oh, terrible jokes. I'm here all week. Does this now make... Wait, where does that one... Oh, right, so that one starts there. Yeah, okay, this actually does make it correct. Which would make sense, because I just raised the whole floor for this. And then you're, like, there. But we're still too close to this for it to feel right. So if I like pull this in one block, then you lose a bit of space on this side, but it stays the same height. If I push it back a block, wait, everything could go. Actually, I don't think moving it forward or backwards makes much difference, because you still need the extra space. So like, maybe if it's all here, it's now lower. But maybe we use that little extra bit of space off the side somehow. And then, okay, then, yeah, then we got that there, so we can't do that. Feels like if I want it to be symmetrical, it's just going to cause... There it is. There it is. There's the problem. I'm thinking symmetrical constantly. It doesn't need to be. You lock yourself into this silly little idea. Oh, it's got to be done like this. And then you make it difficult for yourself. Classic. How long did it take me to figure that one out? Too long. That's how long. Actually, those could have done with staying there. So at that height, I think you're tolerable. It's tolerable being that close to the top. I think I can live with that. Yeah, I think this is the way we'll do it. We'll have it there. Maybe even over by one here as well. Why not? Whoops. Whoops. Is music symmetrical? I think there's ways you can look at music and give it a symmetrical value, sure. You can play with symmetry on your keyboard. Oh, noises in the ear. Yo, Libby Hellish, thank you for 4 months. Spooky Dokie, thank you for 96. Woo, big numbers. Ordained Dread here for 84. Foxy31 and Godzilla, thank you for 2 months. We also got CP Studios for 9. Being a teenager in the 90s, Wu-Tang and RZA's Grave Diggers side project was my jam. 6 Feet Deep, still one of my all-time top favorite albums today. Yeah, man, I absolutely love the whole Wu-Tang saga. Gravediggers, I kind of found that quite late. So I like it, but it's like doesn't have that like deep connection or anything. But it's a proper cool record. It's literally playing in my head now. Like it's got some really interesting cuts on it. But yeah, I absolutely love that string of like Wu-Tang albums. that came out. Not just 36 chambers, you know. Like you got Method Man's, is it Takao, and then you got Return to the 36 Chambers of ODB, and Raekwon. Raekwon's probably one of my favorites. What was the record he did? Only Built for a Cuban Links. That is such a, whew, that is a hot record. I would love to have been a teen in the 90s or even born then, says Cimmerian. That's how I feel. 90s is like my favorite decade. I just love so much stuff that came out of it. But you got to realize, like, I kind of like grew up and started getting into stuff and building my air quotes identity or whatever at the end of the 2000s. No, sorry, not at the end, at the beginning. So, like, that was the immediate thing that was just behind everything new coming out. So it was very relatable to, like, hear music in the noughties and understand how it was influenced by what was just immediately behind it, if that makes sense. I don't like the way this turns here. I think I'm going to change this. I think I know what I want to do. I'm going to keep building until it makes sense. This is, you know what, this is probably not too different from building off camera, what I'm doing right now. It really is just a lot of trial and error over and over again. It just, something about doing it off camera feels a little more productive. I think it might just be that the lack of conversation that's like going on the side. You're just more in the zone. You're a little more focused of what you're doing or something like that, you know? You know what? I think I might maybe keep it so it's deeper. Now we'll move it over. That's art for you, trying to see if something will work and deleting and painting over when it doesn't. It's true. It's true. I will always argue though that Minecraft could be better at this. Like you can make the game slower, right? Like you can add in more friction, therefore you can move in the other direction too. It's something I think about when I compose music, with the way that I do it, is I've got a system. It's kind of slow and tedious. I also kind of love it, but if there were tools out there to like speed up the process and stuff, I could probably get more accomplished, but I just don't know what those tools and skills are yet. I'm just kind of used to doing it my own way. But the thought crosses my mind, you know, there might be a better way of doing this. Right, I think we've got our thing going on here. I think we've got it figured out. I want this to be too wide, don't I? I want this to be too wide. I also don't like wasting materials. I'm quite aware. There's some stuff under here we might not see again. When I was working on the Nether Hub and doing the rockets, I had noticed loads of these little bits where like someone had placed a block and it was just like, and on to the next one, and I was like, oh, I so can't do that. I'm so fussy. I just like every little bit of it has to be built perfectly. The issue is that adding friction is a lot easier than removing it, just like real life, says Callie. I agree. But in the case of Minecraft, I disagree because I think it's been neglected and treated as if you can't. And, you know, myself and other modders and people have provided ideas and solutions. And the common thing I say about it is that you have to take kind of bold strides and be different. Minecraft will not continue to be the exact same game if you want the inventory to get better, right? There will have to be some radical changes. That's just the reality of it. And I think it needs those radical changes if it wants to keep up with the times, basically. Otherwise, it'll continue to have that kind of like antiquated element of, hey, this game is actually 15 years old, isn't it? Remember? 11 years is mad. It's been a blast, this Pars. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been a blast. So I think I'm going to choose oak again since kind of feels like we're in the same space here for materials. Now Hightail is out, even though Minecraft is still much better. Minecraft, Hightail is such a long way to go, right? But it'll give Minecraft some competition, I hope. 11 years in the glow of the screen, a mask builder, crafting the unseen, redstone human, pickaxe in hand, turning quiet blocks into a thriving land. For updates, pranks, and seasons that fly, your steady voice keeps us drawing by. Not loud or flashy, just skill and heart. A master of a Minecraft's endless art. So here's to the void, to build that endure. 11 years strong, and so many more for sure. Powerballs, that was lovely, my dude. Lovely bit of poetry. And very kind words there that I appreciate. People in chat love it. If you have seen it or not, they love it. That's great. I thought that would look really good there for some reason. I think you're just gonna have a wall behind it and then have it like recess somehow. Yeah, I feel like that bit there wants to change too. Gonna end up Ugh. Gonna end up with like a whole bunch of different materials there. We'll leave it alone for now. I do find though with these builds, like once you get a little bit of it done, sometimes you like hit this groove and stuff comes together fast. I don't know if that's what we're going to experience today, but I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I hope we get a little bit of rhythm and pace going here. Actually, is that the way I want to do it? Maybe not. Maybe we make like this bit on this side a bit of a boundary. Sushi, the Wolf Gamer, thank you for 4 months. And Horned Astrologer, thank you for 31. Appreciate it, appreciate it. You was gonna say thanks to ChatGPT. I don't think ChatGPT would spat that out. That felt way more personal. That felt like it came from someone who understands what I do here. ChatGPT would have been would have been way more generic. Way more generic and meaningless. I've been running LLMs on my own computer now, and I've been, you know, not been using it crazy and testing it, but whenever I go, this is something that might help me with, I now go to it and give it a try, and then sometimes I compare it to like an online one, and I tell you what, you can get a fair bit of use out of running those things offline. Like if you don't like the big companies and what they're doing with your data, you do have the option to use this technology offline, which is pretty cool. And I can't help but feel like with the diminishing returns they're currently experiencing on expanding this technology, it's like maybe that's the future. Just it ends up just being like a 3 technology that you get to have at home and not part of their, you know, whole thing. Sorry to tell you, Powerboss was the one who sent the poem. They would know if it was ChatGPT. I don't believe I think they were just making a joke. I don't think honestly if ChatGPT wrote that's way too on the nose. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I don't think it understands. It doesn't even understand, does it? It just hallucinates. I don't think it has that much like context to work with. It was a GPT thing. I mean, Powerbuzz, you got to let us know what it was now. I will say, if it was, that's, oh my god, that's like, okay, these things, you know, they can fool us. I get fooled by AI. I got fooled recently by it, and I was just like, what? I gotta get more of a sharp eye for this. This is weird. I don't want to be fooled by this stuff. I want to be tricked. You did say it was ChatGPT. Fair enough. It was then. Oh my god, that's horrifying. That's scary. I don't think Jippity could be that good. Xisuma skims with a curious eye, let the half messages wander by. A sentence caught, a thought misplaced, replies arrive at double pace. He'll nod along, then miss the cue, answering something no one said or knew. A lovable derp in every chat. Wait, did I just read that? No, not that, but with a grin, he owns the slip. No eagle sunk by a tiny trip. He laughs it off, resets his view. All right, I'll read it through. Now, but again, I'm going to say, I think you wrote that, but now I'm thinking if you give the model enough context of like the details and the beats you want to hit, right? Like it can write for that. So, you know, I guess I was thinking like you just say, oh, you know, write me a poem for Xisuma, and it's probably going to be, you know, Xisuma Void, so and so many subs, made videos for so long. It's just going to be stuff it can like pull from YouTube or whatever. But like if you give it that context to make it feel personalized, that's how it gets there. Why are we doing ChatGPT poetry? I don't know. Someone started it. You've been training XPT off of my live streams. Oh, God. Oh, God, please. By the way, I said I would change this ceiling. The more I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to change it. So, like, let's do that bit next. You got to do everything, so do something, right? Can you imagine that as an inspirational quote? You got to do everything, so do something, right? It's like a terrible one. By the way, in the video where I did this, I did ask about quartz. I remember reading my comments, and I think I just asked like too many other questions. I went back and looked at the build after, and I thought that actually doing quartz probably was the better shout for this build. But without it, we've kind of leaned quite heavily into the more earthy tone with the wood. So I think sticking with it now makes sense. But part of me wanted to switch black. Plus I need that quartz, you know, for redstone this season. Like, I need an unhealthy amount of quartz for redstone. I now have to go do trees and things, don't I? And my inventory just looks again. Do you know, I just want an area that I fly to and chop down the trees and don't worry about it. Like, no one will ever come here again. That's what I want. That's what I want right now. I'm going to just go near my own area and replant the trees, because then they'll kind of like grow back, right? Maybe? Like if I chop down some of these trees and just leave them to replant, what's the harm in that? Maybe I don't even need to replant these. No one goes over here anyway. Every time you do anything, you have to credit me because I put that thought in your head. Thanks, do I now? Oh, thanks for the reply idea, by the way. And thanks for the idea about the reply idea, by the way. And thanks for the idea about the reply idea, by the way. Yeah, we can do that all day. Everyone knows that joke. Xisuma reads poems in chat, wonders what's up with that. AI is trash. No one cares for this slop. Human poetry knows what's really up. Question after question, answering all unknown. Presidents and gym advice. His knowledge, solid as stone. I don't know who wrote that. I'm all skepticism now. I hear this theory getting chucked around. By the way, you know, we had this little chat the other day about this idea that started to circulate about how propaganda is about like flooding you with information, making you feel like disenfranchised, like you want to tune out. And then later on that day after we did that live stream, I heard that on like 3 other videos that I had on my playlist. I swear, man, it's like these ideas just do the rounds. Like it just gets into the creator ecosystem and then everyone has to comment on it and say it. Like me, except I just do it in a live stream. Derek55, thank you so much for 7 months, my dude. Appreciate ya. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So I heard that again. And then I was going to say something else that I heard. What was the beat I was about to hop on there? Like, another idea that I keep hearing is that all of this, like, AI flooding the zone and stuff, like, it's going to potentially increase skepticism. making people more skeptical, and therefore might push people away from being like sort of chronically online, and maybe, ooh, that was weird, like trust information from people face to face a bit more. Like it might push things in the other direction as like more and more slop fills up the internet. It's like people then can't rely on the internet as much and go to other places, but that might also be a little bit optimistic, you know. We got trees the tree that grew on sand over here. English isn't your first language, so you don't know many rhyming words. Well, you did good. You did good. The word propaganda sounds like a British person getting a good look at something. Mate, I do that all the time. Have a propaganda at that, I will. I have like these little silly, stupid, mildly amuse myself dialogues in my head, and every now and then having a propaganda is one of them. It absolutely sounds 100% like that. It's a slop circle. Oh my god, that sounds disgusting. Roses are red. Keep watching the stream. Soon enough, items will fill Xisuma's inventory. It's true. It's true, people. The inventory mess is coming. You can feel it. You learned the other day that my skin is Doom Guy. I had no idea that was, but my boyfriend recognized it immediately. Ah, Doom Guy. Yeah, it is. It is. Classic. Classic game, right? One of the greats. One of the goats. Yo, Powerballs, thank you for gifting a sub to Army BD. Appreciate it, Army BD. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. Always appreciate the gifted subs. Roses are red, Minecraft has trees. Today I found out that Xisuma likes peas. Yeah, I do like peas. I mean, I said earlier in the stream that I was going to cook that poutine thing with some peas, right? Peas is a interesting vegetable. Like, it's the one that I feel like fits well with, like, I don't know quite what the right term is, but like, you know, like full English breakfast and meals like that, where it's like, it's not exactly like fast food unhealthy stuff, but it's all the like fatty, greasier side. Like you can have, you know, you can have some beans, vegetable, and meat, right? But like the English breakfast is like all of that stuff, like your hash browns and your black puddings, but with none of the veg. But it's like peas is like the one thing that seems to go with any other type of food that might be like non-veg, right? Like fish and chips, you sometimes have like peas on the side or something. Am I making any sense? It's like the vegetable for non-vegetable people, maybe, is the way to think about it. Also, I'm very proud of myself because the other day I listened to a podcast about what is the most vegetable, and I'm very pleased because I thought I paused the video and thought about it, and I was like, number 1 broccoli, number 2 carrots, and then I was like number 3 potato, but potato should really be number 1, right? And this is kind of the same conclusion of the podcast, funny enough. The reason I thought that potato should be number 1 is because, like, it gets used in a lot of different ways, and I don't think when people eat chips, they think about it as being a vegetable, but potato is a vegetable. Maybe it's not the most nutritious or top of the list one. Onions. Onions is an interesting one because onions are really healthy to have in your diet. Like, regular cooking a dish with an onion, can't really go wrong with that. Yo, Linked12, thank you for 13 months with the Prime. Appreciate you, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream today, having a good time. Potato doesn't give off vegetable energy. Celery is the most veggie vegetable. It's maybe the most salady vegetable. Like, it's interesting because it has so little calories that chewing it actually burns off more calories than consuming it, which is kind of wild. Is potato not a carb? Potato is carbs, right? Thing with carbs is that there's different degrees of them. It's like carbohydrates, if they're more fibrous, then they don't spike your blood sugar as much. Whereas something like refined processed sugar will immediately just spike your blood sugar level, which you don't want happening. It's linked to diabetes. It's linked to aging as well. Like, interesting theory I heard once. Don't think it's backed up by any science. It was just an interesting thought, is that kids love sugar and they eat a lot of sweets and candy, right? Like, you grow out of it when you get older, but we'll remember what it was like to be a kid and you would eat candy and stuff all the time. And that is possibly supercharging your development, because when you go through being a child and your teenage years, your body is growing really fast. It's like you're actually aging way faster when you're a child than when you're older. And there's a theory that, like, in the modern diet with all this easily accessible sugar and stuff, like, we might be messing with kids' development or the speed of their aging or something, but I don't think any studies were done into it. It was just an interesting thought. Dude, I ate raw mushrooms as a kid. Good for you. Better than sweets. Opinion on Brussels sprouts. I love them. I love them. They're good. Taddies are a versatile veg. Chips and mash, scones and wedge. Top of pies. Cooked as fries. Waffle, gnocchi. I don't knock thee. I was going to say gnocchi was one of the ones that didn't come up. I really like gnocchi, and that is like basically potato mimicking pasta, right? Is maybe how you describe it. X, what are we cutting trees for? Building materials. What else? What else? Oh yeah, because we're doing this floor here. That was it. That was that tangent. And then let's make some of those as well. Oh, gosh, mouth burp. X, if you were an adhesive. Oh my god. What kind of adhesive would you be? Brilliant. To be fair, like, I've been mocking the whole, like, you know, what flavour ice cream would you be stuff. But then I'll happily listen to a podcast about what is the most vegetably vegetable. I mean, there's just different types of nerding out, really, isn't there? I can tolerate some, but not all. What type of training do I do? Hypertrophy training, strength, mobility? I would say it's like a little bit geared towards hypertrophy, but really it's just about, like, you know, getting in a workout, getting some stimulus going. I don't lift heavy, that's the thing, right? But mobility too, I do like yoga and stretching and keeping the body nice and limber. Which reminds me, I should probably stand up, actually. And I like to go running as well. So it's all just like keeping it in shape. Any calisthenics? Not, like, some movements are similar to calisthenics, you know, but like I don't do any of that. I don't know, really. Like with the calisthenics, you see like a lot of videos of guys doing like really cool athletic like movement. That stuff's really, like, you have to go deep on the training to be able to do some of those movements and stuff. And for me, it's like I really just love lifting some weights. I don't really have a goal to train for, so I just keep it like sensible, doable. I like to push myself, but not too hard. I don't want to take big risks or anything, you know. Have you ever tried Pilates? Pilates is pretty much like yoga, right? Do I have advice on how to get healthier and fitter as a disabled person? You can barely use your legs, but you want to get leaner and healthier. Well, I would say like a lot of exercise and being healthy is about movement and using the body. So maybe this doesn't translate to, like, you know, you need to lift heavy and you need to run and be like one of these big athletic guys or whatever. But you know, mobility is sometimes just as simple as like stretching and moving around to keep yourself limber and keep your ranges of motion in check, because as you get older your ranges of motion are gonna like decrease and stuff. So something like if you can walk, if you can't, like something that gets your heart rate up a little bit, you know. I've seen like cycling that's done where you use your arms to cycle. This is for people that can't use their legs. So you've got like a special bike where you lay on your back. And you know, what does that do? That gets you out and about, moving your body about a bit more. And you know, that's kind of what I think it boils down to at the simplest of levels, is just to like be active, be moving, don't stay in the same position for too long, like move around more, move about. And then as you do that, understanding where your body's at and then how to like improve from there. Like if you understand some weaknesses, you got some areas that I don't know, could do with a little bit of improvement. It's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, stretching is super important, says Regular Sir. It really is. The Foreign Hunter says, being chronically ill, it's hard for me to exercise, but I've been trying to move around more and balance on a slack line when I can. That's good, man. Keep it up. Yeah, like if I try and imagine that I got hit with something, right? And, you know, let's say it's quite debilitating, I'm bedridden for a while, something like that. Like, and I can never go back to this level of, like, fitness and activity. It's not about reaching this level of activity again. It's about doing more than what you're doing without obviously like going too far and risking your health. So if you're like, your lifestyle is very sedated, you know, a lot of sitting around, a lot of just, I don't know, being at a computer, not moving around much. It can be as simple as doing more of that moving around, like getting up and down, going for walks, even if they're just short and slow. It's that like constant movement and whatnot that I think you want to kind of aim for. I think that's fair advice for any situation, really. That guy from Utah coming in with some cheers and buddies. Taking a gap year from education to get fit enough to play sports again. Happy 11-year anniversary. Thank you, my dude. That sounds awesome. I hope you get in shape and do what you want to do. But Potato says any movement is exercise. Essentially, yeah. Swimming is a good source of cardio, and it's entirely flexible how much you can do. Yeah, I mean, one of the things about swimming is, like, you got to go to the swimming pool. So if that gets you, like, you know, out and about, moving around to get from A to B, like, you don't even have to start with, like, proper swimming or anything, right? You know, just get in the pool and move around a little bit, and then after you got to make your way back and stuff, just wherever you're at, it's just about moving around and doing a little bit more than where you're at, really. Your stationary bike has been helping a little. Awesome. Yeah, a little time on the bike is good. I got to start to think about like what I'm actually going to put in this building. I mean, I kind of know, but I haven't really thought about it too much yet. Yeah, that's another thing. The wall isn't particularly solid. Be the same down here as well. Anyway, I'll be frank, I was kind of expecting to just have like very slow progress on this, because that's just creativity for you. I'm looking at this though and I'm thinking there's no real reason to like break the mold here. We'll take what's on one side and do it on the other. Simple as. Like, we've already got, I think, a bit of a framework for how this room should look. Like 1, 2, 3, and then come down. And then over there it's getting towards the corner. Maybe could line it up a little different over here, like 2s. We'll put you there, and then you got 1 here. Doesn't quite align, does it? What about 4? Maybe, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Just do that. Actually does kind of line up with that in a weird way. Any movement is exercise. What if I move my fingers to make a digital character mine diamonds? Yeah, I mean, that uses energy, right? But there's a very low amount of movement and a very low amount of energy. So, you know, moving your fingers is going to use your heart and your cardio more than not moving them. Right? But that's not like that's not really doing much. I mean, you can play like certain games with the right controllers to get you moving, like the Wii Fit, you know, and that's about like getting you on your feet and moving around. But Potato says it'll burn some calories. I mean, it has to, right? Like you don't get 3 energy. You don't get to just move your fingers out of nothing. It has to come from somewhere. I think I know what I want to put in these spaces right here. I think I know. I might even put lights behind them. I might even put something in there, actually. Yeah, let's have an experimente here. Some things away. Even sleeping can burn calories. Not a lot, but it does. Like, I think you might burn a bit more than you expect when you sleep. Like, your body and your brain, like, there's a lot of brain activity. The brain consumes a ton of calories throughout the day. Your body repairs itself. Like, it's funny, like, a lot of your calories for the day are baseline more than exercise. Like, you'd have to have, like, one heck of a day of moving around and stuff. I've had a few where I've gone hiking or walking, or a day out where you're pretty much spending a lot of the day just walking. And like, you'll maybe double the amount of calories you normally do for a day. Because your baseline, if you just sat around not doing much, there's actually like quite a large chunk of calories for the day. Because that's, you know, like your basic operating cost or whatever you want to call it. It's not like it's really low and they're moving around. That's where the magic happens or whatever. It's quite a lot of it actually just comes from yeah, that's the kind of vibe I was looking for actually. But got to craft some more, right? Got to craft some more paintings. Yeah, I've walked like 18 to 20 kilometers in one day. A lot more calories burnt then. Yeah, like that many. That's crazy. You're probably gonna like have an extra meal or two in that day, right? That's a lot. Let's go turn all of this into sticks. And craft them up. That's not a crafting bench. Xisuma, that's not a crafting bench, Void. Put those slabs away. Not using those anymore, are we? Yeah, some things can get sorted now. Did a charity walk 2 years ago, 22 miles in one day, 50k steps. It was so cool. Ending on a hill looking back over where we came from. We couldn't even see that far over the horizon. The last mile we had to run up a hill though too. That sucked. That sounds amazing, honestly. Like a whole day of walking like that. I got a little bit of that when I was in Selamzi in the end of summer last year, and like, oh, hiking holiday is so for me. So for me. I want to go on a hiking holiday again. You see, there it has to be 2, which annoys me. So maybe we'll split it up into 3. Because I'm that guy. Let's go put some sort of light source behind it. I got a feeling this might be the job of... Yeah, it's the job of the copper lamp. Copper lamps, mate. Look at me with the slang. I'm in. I'm down with the clown, homie. I think I want that second brightest one to make this work. Like, I don't want it too bright. Right? Oh, do you know what? I forgot to power it. Ugh. Ugh. Give me some power over here. They should have 1x3 paintings. Technically, they can support them. Like, they wouldn't have to do anything super special for that. So if I go for that level... Oh, that's actually kind of like maybe the right amount for looking at the paintings. Because we're going to have other light sources that are probably visible. I don't want these to feel like they're the light source of the room. That's important that we don't do that. So, I'd like that back, please. Did I wax it? I didn't. Oh my god, I'm useless. Playing Minecraft wrong here. Can't be the same one. Can't be the same one twice, I said. That one works. And I really like that one now. And I've realised, whoopsie. Wait, that got waxed. Okay. Oh, Dennis is perfect. Okay, I'll take Dennis. Cute little dog. He's a woofer. He's a woofer, governor. Right. I kind of like that one as well. The main vibe I want to get is like these are records, you know? And I think that works. So like that's a fair bit of the bottom room done. Now we got to hang some lighting from up above. I might just take a trip back to the other vinyl store because that's going to be a vinyl store as well, but it's going to sell custom vinyls. Which are custom, you know? They're special. Yeah, I kind of want to avoid doing this again, but I know how I'm going to avoid it. And then we put some fans in on the ceiling. Do I want to repeat the fans? That is a question. What's my favorite album cover? You know, I'm just going to say my favorite album, Spiritual Black Dimensions. One of the things I always loved about that album cover is that it felt like it just perfectly fit what you would hear. Like, not in a kind of like it couldn't have been anything else kind of way. It's just like, yep, that works. I just feel like what you hear in the record matches the album artwork just so succinctly. Genuine question, how does one tell the difference between rock and metal? You probably have to focus on the temperament of the music. Metal is going to be more aggressive, and the guitars are going to be more distorted. Rock has a bit more like melody to it as well. I think I want to make that one of those, but the reason why I didn't is because then it changes the shape of it, but now I really don't care. Now I'm just like, whatever. So there's a little bit of like symmetry across the room. Now, as you can see, there's space there for another color. I don't want it to be yellow again. I like that it's yellow here. And then when we go up to this room, we got yellow again. But then back there's going to be that other color. What is that color going to be? I want to get that color in place because then I feel like I'll be able to decorate this room. Down the bottom here. Blue or green? White. I can see green. White's a little plain. Blue. I'm not feeling blue. Definitely not blue terracotta. I feel like something subtle. Spruce, brown. It might be just too much brown. Oh, and Shikari are playing in Nashville? Please tell me you're going. It's at the tiniest, cheapest venue. I love that they're still doing that. That's cool. Definitely not Purpa. I am looking for genuine suggestions, chat, you know. Chorus fruit. No thanks. Oh. Oh. It doesn't, you know what? I can kind of dig that. I actually quite dig that. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. I like something about that. It doesn't feel like obvious or, oh wow, look at that. But I don't know, it just kind of feels all right. Why not? Let's use some let's get some dark prismarine up in here, you know? Everyone could use a little more dark pris in their life. Warped wood would also work. It'd be a little softer. I kind of like that. Somehow I think it complements this in a strange way. in a very strange way. Do I have a favourite Typo Negative song? Probably the ones I play on guitar are my favourite, although I absolutely love... on October Rust there's a song. What's it called? God, I can hear it in my head. I'm so slow with this stuff these days. I'm going to look it up because I'm sick of not knowing what's in my head. I have to look it up all the time. Give me the track list then, I'll tell you what song it is. Be My Druidess, yes. I wouldn't have got that. That was not on the tip of my tongue. I had to see that one to remember it. Be My Druidess. God, I love that track. Be my Druidess. I could never sing it like he sings it. You keep forgetting that I finally got into typo. Yeah. Typos like that. Oh my god. This would have absolutely been a band like me and all my friends would have worshipped. But just never came across them. I say never came across them. I heard of Typo Negative every now and then. Like it definitely crossed my path on occasion. Just never in the capacity for me to realize how. Like I don't think I even heard their songs. They were just like playing at a festival or something like that, and it was like Typo Negative, huh? And then they just never looked them up, which now feels strangely criminal, maybe. Like, my gig-going self will never forgive me for it. I don't know what I'm doing here, but... that's... yeah. Maybe we'll stick with the floor that's, like, working, right? I'm gonna go grab the secret ingredient for this floor. It does have a secret ingredient, people. I crafted it the other day because I knew I'd need a lot of them. I actually need a lot of them for something else, so I don't really want to use more than half a stack of these right now. But I want to put the custom vinyls on display on these lecterns, and I want to create a bit of a layout where you like walk in, and it feels to me like you can do that, right? And then they'll have the vinyls on them. But then there's not too much space to go around and look at it from the back. I'm just kind of worried that it might end up looking a bit cramped or something. It's not the worst thing. If you elevate this up so it's one block higher, I think it's going to look awful. That's just too high for the player. If it were like half a block higher, it might work. Is this like a vintage vinyl store? In a way, yeah, in a way, but different vibe from the other one. Now, where I've put that over there, it's too close to do the same thing again. That might be a bit of a blessing in disguise, because maybe we're going in the wrong direction here. Like, if we look at this space, it might be that doing that works better. Or like having little isolated stands like this, maybe? There's got to be a layout that feels kind of comfortable. We could also go for having them on display at the window, maybe? Like that there, and... Actually, that's kind of not too bad, is it? It looks like a healthy amount of space to, like, nip in and have a little look at what's on offer. I think we might have found it. You always got a trial and error, right? You always got a trial and error. We know this. Playing this game too long not to. Maybe just have one here. That might work for me, actually. That makes nice use of that space on it. That now feels quite complete. That to me feels like a bit of a complete layout. Okay, I think I can work with that. I can live with this. I'm going to be putting record discs on each of these, though. Is the idea. There's also a place where you got to, like, pay and buy. And I haven't really thought about where that could go. Like, that might actually be better down on the ground floor. Like, you enter... There's some on display, but then you got to pay. Then you head up here, and then it's like... Well, it's interesting. And then we've got a third floor as well. I feel like I might end up leaving the third floor unused for a while. So when you're up on this level... I think you're just going to put them in front of the glass. Why do we need another record store? I got plans, that's why. Is it not okay to have another record store? Alright, let's focus on this roof. I got some ideas. I got some ideas for the roof. Got to have a checkout area. I know, right? I know. And it's probably got to be on the first floor. And it's right after we kind of like sussed it out. Now I got to do that. What? I just figured it all out. A mini game similar to piano tiles by using piano redstone you've made would be a really cool game. Who says I haven't already made that? Who says I haven't already made it? I made loads of stuff between seasons with all the music. It's just a case of like pacing my way through and bringing it into episodes and stuff now. Rainbow, 100%, 100%, 100%, always. Well, I'm going to have to craft more lecterns. Unfortunately for me. I think maybe we should try and get a little bit of that vibe from the room below on this floor, maybe? Can we even? Oh, look, the alignment there. Oh, that's interesting, actually. I've done the alignment on this side of the room wrong. Huh. That's not where that would go. 1, 2, 3. You would actually go there. Shouldn't there be a fourth one of those? Dang it, you escaped. Huh. Huh. Then that would put that there. Bit narrow here, but I kind of like it. I think I prefer it using less space, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of lock that in a bit, I guess. Lock and load. What game is that from? That's like a sample from a game. Oh, then I guess it doesn't technically line up with the floor particularly well, but we can adjust that too. Probably because it'll be the same bunch of pillars going directly above, won't it? Yep. Same thing up here. Cool. Very cool. Peeps, we've had a bunch of gifted subs today. A bunch of y'all are subscribed. We've got some business to take care of now. Because we like to put a little highlight on the Let's Play Minecraft Together server, which you get access to if you have a subscription of any type. That includes gifted. So if you got a gifted one today, you might be interested in joining our fine community here. If you are, ask in the chat. They will hook you up and show you how to get whitelisted. If you've got a sub, you can be whitelisted for a month. And maybe you find a really cool community to be a part of. This is Storm Sugar Airs Esmeralda Reach. It's a revisit. A town run by an emerald robot protected by an ancient being. Oh, I do remember coming here. This was a cool one. Oh my goodness me. I do not think that was there last time. What the heck is this? That is some high conceptuality going on there. That's wild. Surge Air. Sorry, I'm not perfect at reading chat. I'm a human being. Sorry about that. Sorry about not being infallible. God. Right. Well, where's the actual way in here? I remember these paths with the emeralds. We're going to see a lot. Oh, I love that. That's nice. Got a portal building right here. Some interesting banners. I have a feeling we might want to spend more time flying around outside. Interiors are cool, though. Interiors are definitely cool. Looks like there is directions if you need to go to the Maddening Museum. I know that I need to go to the Maddening Museum. But yeah, it looks like a rather consistent build style here. Like the trees are amazing, custom trees everywhere. Totally embracing the packed ice, which I remember from last time. I really liked that. There's lots of talented players on this server, and you can see how this base right here has just put together a whole bunch of ideas and block palettes and stuff. Is this the Maddening Museum? This feels more like someone's storage area. Maybe that's why it's maddening, because it's inventory related. Yeah, I think I remember going into this very building. I remember the little walkway across to there. It's cool, but I love this because like the packed ice biome doesn't really get a lot of love or get used as a base very often, I don't feel like. Someone here's totally embraced it. Amazing block palette and build style, just using that architecture over and over again to tell the stories. An aquarium above where you sit and eat. This is gorgeous, man. That is totally like a giant moose head on the wall as well. Super cool. Super cool. So yeah, I kind of want to seek out a few buildings that I hadn't seen before. I remember this glass one being here. This is the big thing that wasn't here last time. Maybe there's a couple more buildings. Maybe stuff in them has been upgrade. Oh, we got a restart in 10 minutes. Dang. The clock is ticking. He knows what he did to deserve this. What did you do, man? What did you do? What did you throw a snowball at? Oh, I like the little trim of dark oak up the top there. That's nice. Got some farms hidden away inside this building. Classic Minecraft. If we jump up here and look around. Yeah, I definitely know I've seen this before. Maybe one or two of these buildings over here I kind of knew. Oh my god, I love the green. Just ominous, toxic green waste. This I might have not seen. Those are rare, right? Isn't the deep slate emerald ore like super rare? What the heck? They got loads of it. I'm gonna guess probably from the resettable mining dimension. Okay, we gotta look at what that was. And what is this? I feel like I'm finding all this ominous stuff now. Now it's all getting a little creepy around here. Is this the way down? I think we're going down somewhere. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh. I think it's a mob farm. Let's go spectator mode. Yeah, I would say a mob farm, but the thing is, you got the lights on it. Maybe it's like a slime chunk farm, and you've dug it all the way out so that you can get the higher rates. That's my guess as a Minecraft engineer, certified by the way, before you say anything. Yeah, this is proper in the heart of like a packed ice biome. So let's go down here and check this out. This looks super cool. Oh my god, if I were making a thumbnail, it would be that. That's awesome. Oh, and I love how the smithing template, yeah. So these are leather, right? They're not netherite. But each smithing template, it shows you the patterns. That's really cool. That's really cool. I gotta say, this is like something they added to the game that I rarely touch. It doesn't appeal to me much, but it is definitely like cool, especially seeing it done like this. And of course, all done with emerald, right? Let's go check out this thing that's been lurking here in the background. Emerald blocks galore. And copper. They look really good next to each other, actually. That's a great way to like tone down the saturation of the emerald and fade it a little bit. What's this? Hello? Oh, we got some skulks getting activated. Submit relics here? Say what? Okay. I don't know what that's about. Sounds kind of wild. But yeah. There is some emerald skeleton going on, you know. Hips, spine, rib cage. Is there anything inside of it? We've got a halo at the top. Absolutely bonkers this is. There's even an aeroplane checking it out. It's flown over here to find out what's going on. Why do I get the feeling that this might not be hollow? Okay, it's hollow. Never mind. It's hollow. It's hollow. It's awesome. It's weird. It's spectacular. This is a marvelous base. Very unique. Embracing the packed ice biome and embracing the emerald. I love it. Storm, Surge Air. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but thank you for the wonderful tour. It was a pleasure to revisit. Definitely inspiring. I would say just the vibes are so different to what we're working on right now, right? The server is indeed Java only. And it's for our Patreons, for our Twitch subscribers. Let's have a look. So I reckon we are indeed going to end up with a counter down here on the bottom. The logical place to put it is, of course, kind of like in this corner again, probably with a villager. I really like the layout there. If not, we could maybe put it here. Right? That might be a spot. So if we take out a few of these... And let's say it goes like some blocks across here. Kind of still want that big open space, don't you? Can I get away with a few of those? I think that might work. Let's bring that out a little bit. Maybe. I think I know what to do. That's the one. Right. Maybe a little too cramped, I'm not sure. Maybe actually if it goes down here it doesn't feel as cramped and then we take one away there. Maybe that works, I'm not sure. Let's go put some blocks in. In fact, I think I've got the blocks we need right here. I'm assuming the desk is going to be like built out of these again, going across from there to there. We have some cheers and biddies from Powerballs. Thank you, my dude, for all your generosity, as always. Thanks for sharing part of your day with us, X. Appreciate it, my dude. I always love to turn up here and stream for a couple of hours. Thank you so much. Hey, Storm is in chat. Thank you for the nice words. Thank you for the amazing base. What are all the mods that we have on Hermitcraft? If you look up the mod pack for Hermitcraft, you'll find all of them, I guess. So yeah, I think like we'll mess around with the blocks there, but that's the shape of the bit where we're going to have a villager again. Maybe if it were a bit more recessed under the stairs, it might work. I don't know. I've got to admit, part of me thinks that having it here at the window where it's nice and bright will work better. Anyway, for now, lighting up top. Lighting up top, what will it be? I think it'll be some soul lanterns for now. Just a bit of dim light. Scar is online. Scar is online. I've seen Scar a lot. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've seen Scar online a fair bit lately. But I'm aware he's had some troubles with his health lately. I've just realised I've done the same thing on this floor that we did up above. With like pushing it out to the wrong space. Which makes me kind of wonder if I should redo that and make this room a little bit smaller. Because then things will line up a little better. So if this were all like one block further forward. Oh boy, this is going to be a lot of rebuilding if so. It might make the position of the desk a little better too. Bear says, whoa, it's Xisuma. Yeah, I think people are saying, well, it's Scar because he hasn't been on as much lately. He's been ill or whatever. That kind of thing, you know. Right, I'm going to sit down again. I've had an unbelievably active day. I'm just feeling conked. In fact, same for yesterday. Oh my goodness me, yesterday was crazy. Yeah. Oh, like a while ago, last week or so, I was waking up at like 6:30 every morning and just like getting on with the day. And I was like, why do I not want to sleep more? I don't know. And then this week it's just swung in the other direction, and I'm like sleeping loads and then having these crazy busy days. Oh, whatever. Life. There's always something going on, isn't there? I got a torn now because I do actually like this layout. I want to see what it looks like though when we make it a little smaller. Which would mean, what would it mean? It would mean that this bit would actually be like real close. Congratulations, Minecraft X-Men, for 11 years of streaming. Thank you, thank you. Have I been to Kralis's base recently? I flew over it the other day. That's about as much as I can say. You're up at 6 for school every morning. Yep. Sometimes it's like that, right? I just find it weird. Like, your body goes through these rhythms and these shifts. And it was like, all of a sudden, I just didn't seem to need to sleep for as long. And now it swung back again. Now it's like I'm sleeping for 9 hours. Right, let's get this one out. Move it to its new location. Put that there. Wow, that's a wild one. They're basically, they all kind of look like they could be album covers, so most of them are good. Yeah, I got a feeling this is the way to go. This is the way to go. And then it lets us like align our little lanterns, lights, lanterns. I mean, both are valid. Probably put them on a chain so they're a little bit lower, and then the room's kind of quite nicely lit. Sleeping for 9 hours is a blessing. Yeah, I prioritize it. Like, for me, you know, all the fitness, rest, and recovery, like, it's all got to be in the balance, and you make compromises with your time and stuff, and for me, it's like with sleep, I don't want to compromise it. Like, it's how your body recovers and heals and stays in shape and stuff, and so I'm just like, I give it whatever time it needs. Sometimes that means I wake up at 6:30 in the morning and I'm ready to go. And other times it means I sleep until 9. It's just weird how sometimes it's not obvious why. You just sometimes need more sleep. How do I combine 6:30 mornings for late streams? Well, I don't really stream that late, do I? So I don't, is the answer. Remember, time zones exist. I have to remind people that all the time. Now here, I definitely want Dennis again. You've got to give me Dennis. Dennis is the best. This game has a lot of 3x3s now, doesn't it? You're going to make me suffer for Dennis, aren't you? Oh, no, dang it! I knew I'd do that. Oh, I'm just trying to be fast. Faster than my reaction speed is the problem. So what's funny is that all of that like alignment of the staircase and stuff ended up like the room was like lined up wrong, and it all didn't mean anything. I'm kind of wondering if that little nook there is actually like worth preserving. Also, were we ever actually properly... I don't think we were actually properly aligned. We weren't. We weren't properly aligned. I can kind of see a case for keeping it like that, because that feels more like the shape it should be, maybe. And then if I rotate these to face that way, it makes the desk feel a little more open. I just think there should be a bit more space here, like that. I think that kind of works. Plus, the nook is kind of cool, but it needs a little adjustment. Like that needs to be like that for sure, right? Maybe even with that other little bit between it. Yeah, cool. All right. Then I still feel like, feel like this is too dark. I had an idea of putting some candles on Maybe not this color candle, but like, I don't know how much light they would produce, but they kind of look like a detail. It might be a bit too much though. But if those were lit, they might just provide enough to make that feel okay. I don't know, does that look silly? I think that might look silly. Maybe our next light source just needs to be over here somewhere. Or in the wall, perhaps. Just saw a deep dive on some of the images for the Minecraft live social media post. Quite an interesting look. I'm curious where you saw that, or like what the conclusion was, but I gotta say, like a deep dive on Minecraft live social posts does not sound like a thing. Those social posts are just there to like drum up interest. You know, they got the whole media campaign going, right? They're trying to constantly get people talking about Minecraft, it feels like. I reckon a couple more of these just here. Oh, no, we can't because that's a wall. Yeah, okay. So we want something here. I don't know what it's going to be, but I can't help but feel maybe just stick with the yellow. Just, why does it have to change there? Just keep it all... Do you know what? That, funny enough, the green helps it transition to the dark prismarine. Does it not? Like, if I make it yellow there and green there, it's kind of a little bit of a transition. Just saying. Oh, no, I didn't click on that. Rude. Lies. Absolute lies. Yeah, it looks... there is something off about it. Maybe you do that and then put these blocks above it. Man, building is a lot like a puzzle sometimes. You know there's an answer, you just don't know what it is. Nah, maybe a little bit better than I thought it would be. Gotta watch out for the level of the floor here, though. Or maybe not. Maybe that'll just continue up here. Right, so does that space there feel like it's crying out for something? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There is an image showing the passport of a strider. There is a bedrock seed and coordinate that the spawn the player in a ruined portal. The passport has stamps indicating the strider has been to the overworld and the nether. The end stamp is missing. I don't know, man. Like, oh, maybe it could, but I need to go look at it myself now, because one thing I've noticed is that there's like an incentive to have, you know, content come out about Minecraft content, right? Because people want it. Sometimes it feels like a lot of this stuff is just making up whatever, you know, making up a story to get attention. And when that happens a lot, it makes it harder to know when the actual story is there. When is the real thing when they're dropping a hint, right? It makes it harder to know when something really happens. People want the end updates so much they're grasping at straws. It feels a little bit like that too, doesn't it? It feels like a little bit of straw grasping. Definitely feels a little bit like that. Lights. Lights are the thing that I'm trying to weave in here. Like, there definitely needs to be a light source just down here. I might light up these candles just to see how ridiculous this idea was. In terms of light level, it's so faint. It is kind of cute, but maybe a little bit overdone. Maybe just at the top and the bottom. Because now it feels like you're trying to evoke a bit of a spooky vibe or something. Something about candles has a little bit of like a Halloween element to it, I think. I don't know. It's all one step at a time with this stuff. I think it might be copper bowls with like a trapdoor on front of them. Because we need to break up this wall here. Or do we? Have I got any stairs on me? Not enough. Do that. Whoops. Maybe like that. Doesn't look too bad, does it? This bit here is kind of weird. Kind of weird looking, but is what it is. And when you get up here, you know what? I reckon you can just do, and then maybe more posters again, and then you got lights hanging. The lights here are going to be easy. Oh, or are they? I can't place them. Maybe it's not going to be easy. Maybe like one there. It's a bit of a low ceiling with like a lantern that you feel like you're going to bump your head into. It's a bit cramped. Yeah, I don't feel like the place to put them. I reckon the place to put them is just on top of these. So like some sort of functional... maybe bring back the loom. Or maybe chiseled bookshelves. Like these things are here. And they got lights on them. Sometimes that's a good way to place a light. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Okay. You was thinking of a lamp. Have I been to Krallis' base this season? I got asked that like a little while ago. Funny that. Just crouch to keep your head safe. I mean, that is another alternative solution right there. That would also work. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I reckon quartz blocks could go behind there. But the lighting's good. This is what I like when you do building. Is just if you have multiple like places to focus on, when something's not quite working in one area, you can just sort of like hop around and go to another one. And then slowly, bit by bit, it all starts coming together. That's what's nice about this process. Also, I think I said I wanted to change the material over here, but then we got that block again, so for now, it's going to stay yellow. And then I think we do more dark prismarine over here. But I might have run out of that as well. Nope, still got dark pris. Poster up, mind your head. Custom posters is something I'm considering doing. I want to talk to other hermits about it because there is this like... you know, you can make a poster, like a big 3x3, like we've done down below. You can do this with maps. You can make your own custom ones. It's just the level of grind is absurd. Like if you wanted to do that with Minecraft maps, you can. You can pretty much make it look the same, but it's absurd. But then if you start using paintings to bring art into the game, you kind of maybe reduce those instances where you might have actually done it with a map. So it's like an interesting balancing act, but basically there's a bunch of stuff I'm definitely not going to do with maps, like no way Jose, but I would like to bring in some images onto the server, and paintings would be a cool way to do it. But I need to discuss those boundaries with the other hermits first. I don't know what like other people's feelings on doing that is, if it's something we want to do, etc. Like what happens if I do it and then other people start doing it? Do we make maps anymore? Got to have that discussion, you know. But I'm hoping we can do something with it. Because then I'll bring in some cool custom images and stuff. Hey, look, we can kind of see where this room ends just right here at the top. Kind of cozy. This one I'm going to leave alone. I think I want this one to just feel like a bit of a warehouse, like something unused for now. It's kind of the vibe. I might even put like a little no access sign thing here. In fact, if we did that with hanging signs, what's like a low hanging block? Maybe just some bars. Oh yeah, maybe not even hanging signs below. Maybe just bars like that. Just bar it off. And then leave it all dark and dingy back there. Might actually work. I kind of like that. Oh! Oh, let me out. I don't think I can get out. Right, I want to make this all a little bit higher so we can see what it looks like when it's all stripped. Spiderwebs, they would definitely make the area look like uninhabited and stuff, wouldn't it? I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far. I'm also, if I'm barring it off, it's more a case of like no one actually looks up here, so like you'd only put stuff as far as people can look for now. It's kind of my thinking there. Like at the moment, you can actually look up and probably see the roof and stuff, but that's, I don't know. The iron bars actually work pretty well there. Maybe needs like 1 or 2 extra blocks with it. But yeah, there's a lot of good going on there. This will be nice and easy to fill out. And then down here, oh, you know, most of the way there with the vibe. Gonna have to keep a villager somehow locked in this space. There isn't quite the sort of shape or space like we had in the other spot. Let's go check out how the villager was captured over there, because that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I really like that sort of height down thing that we got, you know. I don't think we can recreate that where we are. It's like recessed by 1 block from... Maybe we could do it with glass. I don't know. But we've got to keep a way to keep it enclosed in here. We'll probably have like bookshelves, all those detail blocks. There's a problem. I watched Defo's video, right? Like, he used to rely on having a block space between a villager and a mob. So if a zombie wanders over here and it's got a spear, it can attack like the mob through the gap, which is horrifying. It's on my list actually to do a little bit of a checkup on the area and make sure that everything is like spawn resistant. While I'm on it, I'm going to put another little light source back here because it feels a bit too dim. So we've got that back there. Oh, maybe I'll do the same thing again here. It's just... Actually, I don't know. I don't think it gets in the way of the stairs too much. I think you kind of get away with that one there. Or possibly, you have like a little shelf higher up. And you got your little lantern on that. That's a little bit better, I think. Can I go like 1 block higher? It can, yeah. 1 block higher it is. Nice. That works. Totally works. Same level as that over there. Sweet. Alright. We've got an absolute disaster of an inventory here, people. Just want to put in a little bit more of this magic. It definitely suits this area, doesn't it? Definitely suits this area. God, this inventory. So disgusting. I think it'd be great if this game just had like a magic tidy button and it's just like boop, 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 and all this stuff just like ends up back where it should go. That's what I was talking about earlier about taking big and bold risks. Like you ain't gonna solve the game's inventory problems by keeping it block by block and how it's always been. You gotta step outside the comfort zone and embrace. Is it me or is the one... Oh, there it is. I was gonna say the one with the paintings has like found a way to hide itself, which I don't like. That is looking far more respectable now. Right, I think that's going to do me for my Streamaversary today. Let me check and see who else is streaming, because it feels like it's been a minute since I've like handed it over to another hermit. It's a habit I wanted to keep. Yeah, I had a feeling Skiz was streaming. Let's find out. Just ask, you know, just ask the homie. Sometimes that works. Guess we could tidy up a little bit of this while we wait for a reply. I can see a preview of the stream. I'm just not sure where it is. Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's busy. Maybe we won't. Maybe another time then. Perhaps he's up to something. Anyway, I'll send you over to Skiz's stream, people. So, stick around. You were Scar borrowing some stuff. I don't know where Scar is. Oh, do you know what? I'm an idiot. Like, we got the face bar, right? Although I don't see him on the face bar. No, he's over there. Do I play StarCraft? Well, I played it when I was a kid. Well, they're both over here somewhere. But maybe a really long way away. Like, this isn't Skiz or Scar's area, is it? I think they're probably a long, long way away. And I should have thought of this sooner, because I would like to go play guitar with what little time I have left today to do so. I think there is a portal around here. I will use that to get home. I'll figure it out in a minute, people. Actually, I'll just fly home. It's really not that far, is it? Alright, I'm going to set up the raid, send you over to Skiz. Thank you everyone for tuning in. As always, I appreciate your support and hope you had a fantastic time today. The Hermitcraft action continues. You can go check out Skiz. And I'll be streaming again Thursday. You'll get an episode of Hermitcraft on Thursday. You'll get me streaming again in the evening. And then Sunday. And as things go, there shouldn't be any interruptions. I should be good for both of those days. But whenever I say that, everything goes wrong, usually. So Thursday and Sunday are the next streams. Hopefully we can stick to that. Thanks for watching, peeps. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.